Hi Pioneer School, it's Miss Bev, your librarian. I have a couple of stories I'm going to read to you today. The first one is going to be Apple Trouble. Apple Trouble. Hedgehog had just finished building her winter nest under the old apple tree. Not too large and not too small. Just right for a nice long winter nap. Oh. Suddenly, a juicy red apple landed on her back. Ouch! Squeaked Hedgehog. Plop! She curled into a spiny ball, hoping it would fall off, but when she uncurled, the juicy red apple was still there. Hedgehog tried to squeeze herself and the apple into her beautiful new nest. But could she get in? No, she could not. Not with the apple on her back. The nest was too small. Oh dear. Squirrel, scurrying past with an armful of brown nuts, stopped to help. Stand still. I'll push the apple off, he said. And he pushed, and he struggled, and he heaved, and he tugged. But the juicy red apple just stayed there, where it was. Worse still, 3 of Squirrel's brown nuts got caught in Hedgehog's spines. So now she had a juicy red apple and 3 brown nuts on her back. Oh dear, wailed Hedgehog, winter is coming and I can't wait to get into my nest. What will I do? Try rolling on your back, snorted Pig, trotting up. That'll get rid of all. Hedgehog threw herself on the ground. Her little legs paddled in the air, and she twisted and she wiggled and she rolled. Ugh! Has it all gone? She asked hopefully, squabbling to her feet. Pig shook his head. No. The juicy red apple and the 3 brown nuts are still there. So were a small green pear and a crumpled brown leaf. Oh dear, sighed Hedgehog, rolling her eyes. But up in the sky, sailing towards Hedgehog, she saw a colorful piece of paper. Oh no, she cried. This way and that way she ran as fast as she could. This way and that drifted the paper. Oh my, poor Hedgehog. And landed right on her back, between the apple and the 3 brown nuts. It's not fair, cried Hedgehog, who now had a juicy red apple, 3 brown nuts, a small green pear, a crumpled brown leaf, and a colorful piece of paper on her back. I'll never get into my nest. Hedgehog pattered to the pond and gazed at her reflection in the water. Ribbit, hello, Hedgehog. That's a lot of stuff on your back, croaked the frog. I'm trying to get rid of it, sniffled Hedgehog. Dive, said the frog. That will wash it off. Hedgehog dipped her foot into the water and then dove in. Splash! Her friends watched Hedgehog bobbing up and down. The juicy red apple, the 3 brown nuts, the small green pear, the crumpled brown leaf, the colorful piece of paper were all still on her back. So was a pink water lily. Glug, 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 gurgled Hedgehog as the others heaved her out of the water. She did look funny. Goodness, poor Hedgehog. But Hedgehog did not find it funny. "Stop laughing," she sputtered and stamped her feet on the ground. "Where am I going to sleep?" Pig and Squirrel looked worried. So did Frog. "I do have one last idea," oinked the pig. "Squeeze through the hedge over there. That'll brush everything off." So Hedgehog closed her eyes and she squeezed herself through the hedge, through the thick leaves. But did it get everything off her back? What do you think? Do you think it got everything off her back? No, it did not. It was still there. So were 4 ripe blackberries. And there, staring at her with a look of great surprise, stood a goat. "Ooh," cried the goat, "you've brought lunch." "Help yourself," said Hedgehog. "Take it all." "Yippee," brayed the goat. He picked off and ate the juicy red apple, the 3 brown nuts, the small green pear, the pink water lily, the 4 ripe blackberries, and the 4 ripe blackberries for dessert. And for dessert he ate the paper. The only thing left was the crumpled brown leaf. He just couldn't eat any more. "Hooray!" cried Hedgehog. She felt as light as a feather. "Thank you, Goat," she said, and then she ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, through the gate, past the pond, across the orchard, under the tree, and home to her nest. Look at her go. Hedgehog squeezed into her nest, and it fitted her just perfectly. And that was the best nest ever. Outside the cold wind blew another apple off the tree, but it didn't fall on Hedgehog. She was safe in her nest, fast asleep. Cute story, huh? I have one more for you. Thelma the Unicorn. This was a new book last year, and we read it before we left for COVID. Thelma the Unicorn. Thelma felt sad. In fact, she felt forlorn. You see, she wished with all her might to be a unicorn. Her best friend's name was Otis. He liked her quite a lot. He said, "You're perfect as you are." But Thelma said, "I'm not." And that was when she saw it, a carrot on the ground. It gave her such a great idea. She squealed and jumped around. She looked at the simple carrot and she tied it to her nose. "I'll say that I'm a unicorn. It might just work, who knows?" Well, as she did, a truck drove by. The driver rubbed his eyes. "Good grief, is that a unicorn?" he shrieked in a great surprise. As Thelma watched the swerving truck, it nearly hit her. Would you believe that that truck was filled with nice pink paint and glitter? Oh, it was her lucky day, wasn't it? Gotta be a glitter unicorn, huh? Oh, Thelma looked amazing. She was a unicorn. "I'm special now," she cried out loud. And so a star was born. All across the whole wide world, her fans would cheer her name. Thelma loved it every bit. The fame, the fame, the fame. Thelma was a superstar. Her dreams had all come true. But soon she found that so much fame was kind of tricky too. These pages don't turn very well. You see, her fans were mad for her. They'd scream and cry and laugh. They'd chase her everywhere she went to get her autograph. In fact, they'd chase her all day long. It never, ever stopped. That wouldn't be very much fun, would it? They chased her while she exercised. They chased her while she shopped. Please don't chase me anymore, she asked the screaming crowd. We'll chase you if we want, they said. We're fans, so it's allowed. Poor Thelma. And some were not fans at all. No, some were really mean. And some just did the meanest things she'd ever really seen. Poor, that's not very nice, is it? I don't like unicorns. If you don't like something, you can just keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell everybody. So one dark night, she felt quite sad. This famous little pony, she said, I thought that I'd feel great, but all I feel is lonely. Poor thing, she feels lonely. People want to see her all the time, and some people weren't very nice. Poor Thelma. And so with that, she changed her mind. This lonely unicorn, she cleaned off all her sparkles, and then she walked right past the crowd. They didn't even notice. She thought how nice that would be to see her friend Otis. And then he asked her about her trip beneath their favorite tree. She simply said, oh, it was fun, but I'd rather just be me.